It is an absolute firecracker!
All right, what's good, people? Like our mustaches in this podcast for the month of November, aka Movember, we are back. It is the Box to Box podcast. 4 dudes, 4 creepy mustaches, all for a good cause. As always, joined by my man Shane Altus. What's up, Shane?
Hey, Steve, how are you and that mustache doing?
I'm doing great. We have really odd mustaches. They kind of flare out and are very patchy. But you know what? We're rocking them. It's no big deal. Mike, he wasn't really sure if he had a mustache today, right, Dad?
Sometimes it's tough to tell, but turns out I've got one right now. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a lifestyle. Yeah, it's more of a lifestyle. Sometimes you're just kind of used to having a mustache, and people ask you about it, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I had a mustache. I don't need a mustache. And the creepiest mustache of them all, a.k.a. Brian Brennan. What's good, B?
I take that as a compliment, Steve. I want to dedicate this to my father, James Brennan, who gave me this glorious mustache with his great genes in the Brennan household.
Totes. Best basketball player in the family, NBD. What's up, James? All right, so it's going to get kind of weird. It's the international break, and we didn't really have a lot to talk about, so we wanted to just make it weird and do dummy runs, because, I mean, we got mustaches, so that's weird, so we'll just do dummy runs for the entire show. We're gonna go, just whip it around real quick, and start off with Shane Altuve, so give us your dummy run!
Dummy runs. I'm actually going to have a nice little positive story, make everyone feel good about themselves, get the positive vibes flowing. I have a really cool story coming out of Ukraine from this past week. Shakhtar Donetsk, 32-year-old captain Serna, their longtime left back who's known for crossing the ball in, having a deadly free kick, donated about 20 tons of tangerines to kids in the war-torn country of Ukraine. He did this out of his own pocket. It's reaching out to about 23,000 kids in the city of Donetsk, which has just been absolutely ravaged by the war between, whatever you go into your geopolitical spheres, whether it's against Russian rebels, against Ukrainian rebels, against Ukrainian military forces, against whoever. It's just a really awesome act of kindness, and it really goes within this awesome, culture of soccer players giving back not only to their, nations that they hail from, but also where their club teams hail from.
All right, the first political stance in this podcast, NBD.
Shots fired.
All right, Brian, give us your dummy run.
I'm gonna bounce off that positivity right there and talk about another great guy, Luis Suarez. He comes out the other day and says, they treated me like a criminal. Oh, I had to do this secret signing with Barcelona. Listen, bro, you bit a dude on the soccer field for the not second, the third time. Don't talk about how you treat like a criminal. You're literally a cannibal. Settle down. And you're signing with a team that can't even sign people because they're banned due to all these violations. They just can't sign you. So stop talking about how you're a criminal, how you're going in your sneaky SUVs under subways so you can sign contracts. You bit a dude. It's your fault. No one else's.
Deal with it. Dude,
this is what he does. He's a bad guy. He bites people. I'm not sure why you thought that was a positive thing, Brian. I mean, it's really...
If anything, we've learned something here from The Walking Dead. What happens to cannibals? What happens to them?
They die.
They get blown up.
I mean, they die. Now use a zombie.
Just like Bob said, y'all eating my leg.
This got sufficiently weird with this guy, so we'll move on to Mike Depkowski's dummy run.
All right, guys, we'll talk. Obviously, the Ballon d'Or is out. The short list is out. All short, 20 of them. But how about the goals of the year being announced? I think it's going to be a World Cup goal this year. Obviously, whenever there's a World Cup, it's the focal point of soccer for the year. And 3 absolute stellar goals came out of it. You have Van Persie's header, you have Jaime's volley kick, and then you have my goal of the year, Tim Cahill's over-the-shoulder volley goal. Absolute beaut to the roof of the net. Couldn't be stopped. You don't see many goals like that, and people don't understand how hard that skill actually is. I'm sure if all 4 of us tried it, we'd all fall down and not even make contact with the ball. So go out and try it. You probably won't succeed, and it's just an unbelievable goal.
Beautiful. All right, I'm going to wrap it up with my dummy run. I want to talk about a serious problem on Twitter these days.
Serious problem.
This is a serious problem. This is me just like Saturday morning. I'm watching Chelsea and just kind of hanging out. and Diego Costa scores a goal, and he was just in the right place at the right time, like he always is.
Classic
so your
portrait.
boy I shot out a tweet. I was like, you know what, I want to let people know how I feel. So I tweeted, people knock Costa for being a poacher, but you've got to admit there's some skill in always being in the right place at the right time. Is that crazy to say? Is that am I an idiot? I don't know.
Crazy?
Well,
Not crazy.
two bros thought it was and spent the better part of a Saturday trolling your boy on Twitter. This guy John Anthony at Dr. Seedham, and this is the best one ever. Towel into pants at into pants. I mean, so we're talking about some real bright bulbs
Trolls
here.
out. Trolls out.
Decided to try to get back at me on Twitter. First off, this John Anthony guy tweets at me. He was at the World Cup, and you ain't bright for saying that. What a hashtag, Tulio. I was like, okay, whatever. This guy, he's got a Portugal thing as his avatar. He's probably bitter about USA.
It's early on a Saturday.
Instead of Portugal in your face, bro. But then it was the next guy, at Indepants, who I'm just sure is highly educated and is just a brilliant man, tweets at me. I wonder how much this Cerruti had to get where he is today on a sports channel, Wow, whatever. He's never heard of ESPN before. And then he followed up with, he knows about... Now, that's the first time I've ever heard that in my entire life. And now I quote it all the time because I think it's freaking hilarious. And it didn't end there. The guys just kept tweeting at me about like how I probably love Landon Donovan because I'm in the U.S. and how I probably love Clint Dempsey because he's in the U.S. Brian even tried to get involved with this thing, and they just didn't get that he was making fun of them. Like I said, the IQ must just be off the charts for these two. So there was also a hashtag that was roamed around that I will not repeat on the podcast because it's a little bit vulgar, and my mom probably listens to this.
It is trending,
so sorry,
bro.
Mom, we won't repeat that. And probably the only people that watch us are our moms anyway, but no big deal. So I just want, what was your guys' take? I mean, you guys were tweeting at these people on Saturday night, and Shane's going to put up their Twitter handles, so everyone who watches this, please go and troll them on Twitter, because they are just, I mean, obviously they just had nothing better to do on a Saturday than to just waste their time tweeting at me, which I didn't respond to. Brian, I appreciate you trying to get after it and yell at them back.
Hey, box to box,
for being a good
people
friend.
got box to box people's back. I mean, it's not really like a controversial tweet. You just were like, he's pretty good at being in the right place. It's not like you were like, Diego Costa is the best player to ever step foot on the pitch. It's like, it was just a standard tweet.
So then I responded one time. And I just said he's tied for the leading goals in the best league in the world. And the guy tweets at me, oh, you think that's the best league in the world? My 6-year-old knows more about sports than this guy. First off, if you don't think that that the EPL is the best soccer league in the world, like I can't help you. Like you have a problem. You are not.
And obviously his 6-year-old doesn't know anything about soccer.
Yeah. I mean, his 6-year-old also has an IQ of like 140, but whatever.
She's
that's
also
not a big
real
deal.
smart.
Mike started kind of trolling me that night as well. I mean, Shane, if you want to jump in with your thoughts too, like I just people on Twitter, man, like what are you doing?
I mean, Steve, you opened up the door when you let them know that you were listening to them. But no, this is just Twitter being Twitter, and it's there's some great aspects to it. I love it getting your own opinion out there, but they're going to be 50% of the people out there are going to be just people who just going to be hating on people.
I'd say about 80% probably.
I'd say honestly,
I'm just going to love.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
that's just the way it works.
Yeah, so anyway, my man John Anthony and at In the Pants, appreciate the love, bros, and thanks again. Anytime you want to talk soccer, just tweet at me because it doesn't affect me one bit. So. That is the Box to Box podcast this week, and a special edition of just exclusive dummy runs. We got weird with that. We got weird with the mustaches. Keep doing it next week. I mean, God, next week, by that time, our mustaches will probably be to that Tom Selleck level. So looking forward. We're looking forward to seeing you guys then. As always, like I said, follow us, tweet us your questions at the Box to Box Show on Twitter. Until next week, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.